They have a swagger about them, an aura of invincibility. Back-to-back NBA titles can do that for you. They are desperate for respect and the right to be called champion. When these two worlds collide, you expect nothing short of a battle.
A wire-to-wire victory for the LA Lakers. Divac in your face! And this series is tied at a game apiece.
With their NBA record 12-game road win streak snapped, Game 2 left the defending champs with a bad taste in their mouth. Tonight, the Lakers return home. Can they recapture that aura of dominance? Or will the Kings move one step closer to their ultimate goal? Game 3 is next.
This is the NBA on NBC.
On a beautiful 76-degree day in Los Angeles, a capacity crowd better than 19,000 making their way into Staples Arena as the scene has shifted to Southern California for Game 3 of this best-of-7 Western Conference Finals. And the Sacramento Kings getting ready to hit the floor at Staples. The Lakers coming out of the tunnel as they look to continue their home court mastery over the Kings. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, along with Bill Walton. Steve Snapper Jones will be joined in a moment by Jim Gray. And Bill, first, the physical status of Kobe Bryant, who was a bit off his game on Monday night in Game 2 because of the food poisoning suffered at the hands of hotel room service in Sacramento. And Kobe told us before he definitely did not have as his pregame meal a bacon cheeseburger and a slice of cheesecake as he gets ready for tonight.
Kobe, Marv, thank goodness, is a very quick learner. We are now checking the rumors that Kobe Bryant is indeed a vegetarian, but it was Game 2 that made the rest of the Los Angeles Lakers sick, because the dynamic duo of Shaq and Kobe, despite the illness, the complacency, and the lack of intensity, they came through on a combined basis. Their numbers in Game 2 were better, but what happened to the rest of the guys here, the X Factors, Fox and Horry, the starting forwards? These guys are normally so reliable, so precise, and in Game 3 they were magnificent. Game 2, though, there was a significant and ultimately game-turning drop-off, particularly from Horry and Fox. Those are the guys that handle the ball all the time. In the end, the Los Angeles Lakers, they need to quit whining about the refs and get back to the offensive attack that made them the two-time world champions. If they don't get both games here in Los Angeles today, Sunday, then Sacramento, they gain momentum, and that 7th game on the road, that looms very large.
And as for the Kings, Steve, they are once again without the high-scoring Pedro Stojakovic. Continues to sit it out because of that sprained ankle injury, which means they must continue to get the solid all-around play from Chris Webber, as they did in Game 2 on Monday night.
Yeah, Marvin, that is really a key when you say solid all-around play. When was the last time anyone was criticized for scoring 28 points in a playoff game? But that's what happened to Webber after Game 1 in a loss. So he had to change his game, and change it he did. He was more aggressive at the defensive end, resulting in 5 block shots and really asserting himself in all areas, stepped up, made some steals. So Chris Webber was a different player, scoring fewer points, but attacking, getting to the free throw line. Oh, but can he make a free throw? That's what he'll have to improve on. And he put Horry out of the ball game. Fox had 5 fouls, so Mikey Walker had 4. Now, all of that said, they're on a mission as well. They need to prove to themselves and everybody they can win here, and that's been a tough task.
And Sacramento has been very successful on the road. They've won 16 of their last 18 away from Arco, but they've had big problems here at Staples against the Lakers. Coming up, it's Game 3 of this best-of-7. The Lakers are hoping to maintain home court advantage.
I think they're content to say we want to get home court back again. And we can win it. We won't lose 2 at home in this series. So we have to hold serve on our own court.
If we could win Game 3, it would change everything, because they haven't lost just 2 games in the series. They probably don't remember the last time they lost 2 games in the series.
So the Kings and the Lakers getting set to resume. When we come back, we'll hear from Ahmad Rashad and Tom Tolbert back in our New York studio. You are watching the NBA on NBC. NBA on NBC is brought to you by Cadillac. Bold vehicles, defying convention. Cadillac, breakthrough. By Foster's Australian Beer. By Dockers Dress Casuals. By IBM. E-Business is the game. Play to win. And by NBA Playoffs 2002. Love it live. We welcome you back to Staples in downtown Los Angeles. Let's check out the starting lineups for the Sacramento Kings. Hedo Turkoglu, who's been struggling up front with Chris Webber. Lonnie Divac, the center. Doug Christie and Mike Bibby in the backcourt. And the two-time defending NBA champion Lakers with Rick Fox. Robert Horry remains in that starting lineup with Shaquille O'Neal. That's the front line. Kobe Bryant, Derek Fisher in the backcourt. Once again, let's check in with Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Marv. Well, Shaquille O'Neal and Phil Jackson have spent the past couple of days complaining about the officiating. A lot has been written and a lot has been said. I spoke to Rick Adelman before the game. He said he's sick and tired of all that the Lakers have been saying. If they're so good, they ought to just play the game. That's right. I'm tired of it. Just let him play. I took that reply to Shaquille O'Neal, to which Shaq told me, I wish they would just play and not fly. Marv?
All right, Jim. And following some of these sarcastic comments by Phil Jackson about the decibel level of this crowd as compared to Arco, they are on their feet here at the start. The opening tip controlled by the Kings. Turkoglu, not over the hip. And he took a shot under the left eye.
He didn't seem ready for the opening tap. That's a mind-boggling development. You got to capitalize on every opportunity to win in this building.
Kobe Bryant coming up short. He thought he was fouled. He's looking at the official. The officials tonight, Steve Javie, Bennett Salvatore, and Don Payton. We are just underway. Game 3, the series even at 1. Sacramento 4-0 on the road in this year's playoffs, and they have been red hot away from Arco. 16 wins in the last 18 road games. The last time Sacramento lost on the road was here in the last game of the regular season against the Lakers. Fisher not able to find the touch.
Well, the interesting thing for Sacramento will be at this end of the floor, how quickly they move the ball. Do they end up trying to go one-on-one, or do they move the ball, move people, and end up making the Lakers defend them? Robert Horry, nicked already.
Chris Webber putting that ball on the floor immediately and going to the hoop.
Well, they say the foul on Derek Fisher, although it was Horry who complained to the official. Webber goes behind the back to Divac. Divac gives it up to Christie. Here is Webber. And Shaquille O'Neal, who looked as good as we have seen him in several weeks in the loss the other night in Sacramento.
He's got a real bounce to his step, Mark. Something we haven't seen. Another turnover. Phil Jackson, he wanted none of those.
Bibby stripped and fouled by Fox.
Phil Jackson said the keys to the game tonight were control of the board. That means more possessions for Los Angeles. Get an offensive attack that involves everybody, and then don't turn the ball over so that your transition defense is not exposed. The Kings, the best in the league in getting out in transition. They have not been able to do that because Sacramento has not been successful on the glass during this series.
Bibby averaging 19 points in the postseason, up from just under 14 in the regular season. This is a guy every day in practice shoots at least 500 jump shots from all angles, and clearly he's been the difference in the Kings this season. He is the reason that they're in their first conference final series.
There is some tightness by both teams, and that tells us how important the game is for both. I mean, the balls have been misfired offensively. They're not moving real quickly and precisely right now.
Well, Kobe Bryant showing us the precise jump shot right on target, and that's the first field goal of the game.
Sacramento trying to attack Shaq, make him guard the ball virtually every possession.
Nice ball movement, and Webber shows the touch. Rick Adelman coming to the defense of Chris Webber, saying this is the way we want him to play. I know you disagree with that, Bill.
He has to say that, but nobody in his right mind is going to say get out on the perimeter when you don't really have another post-up option.
Webber sets the pick. Bibby fires. So Mike Bibby has given the Kings a 5-2 lead.
Do whatever you can if you're Sacramento to keep this crowd so hungry, so thirsty out of this game and back in their seats.
The real critical thing for the Kings is to be in the game at the end of one. Don't be behind like they were at home at the end of the first quarter where the Lakers shot lights out 9-10 in that first quarter of play.
Divac given the shot. Shaq did not come out on Bloody. 3 minutes gone by here at the start. Bryant. Nice play by Horry, who comes off the playoff career-high 20 rebound game the other night. Horry with the shot. Yes! From downtown. Phil Jackson wants Robert Horry to shoot more, as he did in Game 1 when he hit 6 of 12.
And he only shot 5 times in that second game, and he feels that just isn't enough in order to get them to come out and allow Shaq to go to work.
What a dribbling exhibition by Chris Webber.
Doug Christie, the outstanding defensive player, trying to handle Bryant, went right by him, but could not convert. Back comes Christie. Here's Bibby on a quick release. So Mike Bibby off to the fast start. And the Kings have a 7-5 lead.
You're seeing a very crisp and sharp ball movement for Sacramento, something that they didn't get done in Game 1, where they were trying to pound the ball, and the Laker defense was just too solid.
Derek Fisher sending it out to Robert Horry around Chris Webber. By Shaquille O'Neal.
Chris Webber is just too casual on his defensive closeout there. Robert Horry just pump fake. Vlade has to rotate. That is just unacceptable if you're going to try to win as a team.
Well, there are 2 players that they want to attack. The Kings want to attack Shaquille O'Neal. He's going to give them certain shots, and the Lakers want to attack Chris Webber.
Well, Webber tried to take it to the rim, but he was stripped. 4-on-3. Fisher way off, and his shooting has been off. In 10 playoff games, he's only 32% from the field. In fact, the 2 previous games against Sacramento, only 2 of 10 from downtown. Divac, yes.
That's what we saw from Vlade in Game 2. There's a beautiful offensive scheme. Vlade Divac, I think the second best center in the NBA today and the most qualified to challenge Shaq because of his multi-talented and varied game.
And hung in very well against Shaq despite the big numbers by O'Neal. Divac had 15 points, 14 rebounds. That's last touched by Webber.
A big concern, I think, though, for Sacramento is that Chris Webber has taken 3 shots. Every single one of them have been from the outside. They haven't even looked at establishing a low post game.
Well, I think it would sink in for you, Bill, that they're not going to look for a low post game from Webber.
Hedo Turkoglu able to hit his first field goal. He was 0 for 8 in Game 1. Missed his first 3 shots in Game 2. And in fact, in the entire playoffs, he's only 35% from the field. And he's an important guy because of that injury to Petra Stojakovic. O'Neal is fouled.
That's where they want to get Shaq rolling across the middle. Once he gets all of that weight moving, he's a real tough guy to really get under control.
Foul on Vlade Divac, and now timeout is taken by the Lakers. 6 minutes, 24 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Good start by the Kings. They lead 11-7. A moment ago, we talked about the outstanding play of Mike Bibby right throughout the playoffs. Game 2, 20 points, 8 assists, only 2 turnovers. Off to the good start here tonight. This all began in the Utah series when he played very well against a guy that he's admired over the years, John Stockton.
I told Stockton thank you for him getting me ready, and he's Hall of Famer. And I have a great deal of respect for him, and I think he got me ready for what we're going through right now.
I think Mike has grown so much, and it doesn't surprise us. I mean, he's a big-time player. He was in college, and the more big games he's been in, the more consistent, the better, the more aggressive he's gotten. If we don't have a big series from Mike, I don't know if we can win the series.
Much credit has been given to Jeff Petrie, the director of basketball operations, in terms of building this team, but the acquisition of Mike Bibby and getting rid of Jason Williams has been, I think, the most important one. It's brought stability, creativity, and imagination, and a guy who's willing to make and take the big shots.
Now Bibby defending on Fisher. Nice fake by Derek Fisher. With an 11-9 lead.
One of the things that Jackson told Fisher is get something easy. Try to get inside that line before you get too crazy about bombing away from the outside, and that should be a good start for him.
Bryant switches off to Webber, and a foul.
The 2 times Webber has gone to the hoop, he's got a foul. And that's how you establish control of a game. That's what Shaq does. That's what Jabbar did. That's what Magic and Jordan always did. That's what great players do. Also, what great players do is they identify what their team lacks. And that's what they contribute.
So the Kings now lead it by the score of 13-9 as Christie is able to hit on his first field goal attempt.
All the starters are in for the Kings, and that's a great sign for them. So everybody's touched it.
Nice fadeaway by Horry, who is looking for his shot here at the start. Bibby to the crossover, met on a switch. Webber behind the back to Divac. Nice move by Vlade.
You attack Shaq and make him guard the ball. That opens up the court for the rest of the guys. Vlade can score, he can pass, he can create for others. That time a beautiful kiss off the glass.
And the Kings have hit 7 of 12 from the field. Fox on a second opportunity is foul.
The kind of fouls that Adelman does not want Webber to get, just reaching and picking up the foul. But even though the ball isn't swung all the way across the floor, they get the ball movement. The result is a hoop for Vlade Divac.
But the quick hitting attack for Sacramento has been very impressive. Chris Webber, 2 breakdowns so far defensively, has cost his team mightily both times.
Foul on Webber, his first. While we have a moment here, we'd like to extend our best wishes to Los Angeles Lakers Public Relations Director John Black, who is under the weather, not in attendance tonight. We hope to see John back here at courtside shortly. Actually, he is the only person who appears to understand Jim Gray. So, John, get back to it.
What's wrong with John?
Sacramento has hit 7 of their last 9 from the field. Just under 5 remaining in the first. Pushed it off the spin, out of control, and fouled one up. Recovered by Turkoglu.
Bring it out and set this one up now.
Turkoglu. We're seeing a different Hedo Turkoglu here at the start of Game 3.
He may have settled down. You know, he might have put too much pressure on himself to try to be bigger and better than he is at the offensive end. This is his first time playing in the Western Conference Final against the Lakers, and that's big news worldwide.
Bibby is hammered by Horry.
Turkoglu is the type of player just getting started in his career will end up being a very, very good basketball player, but the kind of guy who finds his rhythm once the games start getting backed up against each other. And he gets the big minutes now, and he can relax and realize that in the end, it's just stroking jumpers.
Turkoglu in his second NBA season, the first ever Turkish-born NBA player. His favorite Stojakovic, in fact, Hedo is the youngest of the Kings' Eastern European connection. Divac, Stojakovic, and Hedo. Oh, rejected by Divac.
Kings got numbers, but they don't have the ball in a good place to take advantage of. There was Webber right at the rim.
Divac finding Webber. And some confusion defensively by the Lakers.
And again, they're making Shaq guard the ball. Vlade is playing a very good game in the early going here. Plus, not picking up fouls. Shaq needs to start establishing himself going to the hoop.
Fox taking it to the rim, and he's fouled. Hit by Turkoglu.
What they have to do is throw Shaq the ball, and they haven't been doing that. The Los Angeles Lakers moved the ball inside, and Robert Horry maybe got a little happy. A little bit too far away from the rim that time. Maybe when he was younger, he would have been able to throw that down, but the results are when you have numbers, you move the ball, you move people, you get Chris Webber right at the rim.
Finally, a strategy that we're seeing that's got some success and a chance to work. Drive the ball at Shaq. He will come and guard the ball. Then you lay it off, and the rest of the guys then, they're exposed for their deficiencies.
Now Samaki Walker has come on for Robert Horry. Sits down with 5 points. Phil Jackson going to Horry in the starting lineup, feeling that he presents more problems for Sacramento at the offensive end.
Well, he does, but at the same time, he also realizes that Horry has a tendency sometimes to forget about parts of his game, and they need some rebounding right now.
Webber going at Walker. Ooh, I don't know. Lakers felt his offensive interference, but Divac gets credit.
Every time Webber's gone to the hoop, good things have happened. And you're going to tell me that that's not their strategy?
22-13, Sacramento, 3 minutes remaining here on the first. Fisher, for 3. Well, now they say had a foot on the line, so it's a 2-pointer, but that's a good sign for the Lakers.
Well, their three-point shooting has been abysmal in this Western Conference Finals.
3 for 19 the other night in Game 2, and Chris Webber with his third bucket. He has 6 points, so the Kings continue the excellent shooting, leading by 9. Fox coming up short. Turkoglu on the rebound.
Now, the Lakers are in one of those stretches where they forgot about Shaq. Shaq has not touched the ball at all. They're just getting guys going on their own, and that's not part of their game.
Christie hits the 3. Meanwhile, the Lakers are only 6 for 20 from the field in this first quarter.
In the worst of possible scenarios, but now Sacramento has hope. They have confidence, momentum swinging their way.
O'Neal triple teamed and lost it. Webber with the save. Here comes Bibby. He has Christie wide open. Off the ball fake. Gives it to Turkoglu. Tip missed by Turkoglu. Lakers got a break.
Wow, you've got to make those layups like that. Turkoglu and Christie right at the basket.
O'Neal rolling to the rim, but Divac was able to recover.
A great defensive first quarter for the Sacramento Kings. They've reacted extremely well. Out of it, they're making shots.
And Chris Webber continues to hit the outside shot. 4 for 7. 8 points. Lakers are hearing the boos from the crowd as they trail 29-15. Bryant is fouled.
Chris Webber's doing everything right on the offensive end. A couple of careless breakdowns defensively, but Vlade Divac has never played better against Shaquille O'Neal's entire career.
Foul called on Christie, but a timeout is taken by the Lakers with 1:22 left in the first. A very strong start for the one-time Laker, the 34-year-old Vlade Divac. We flash back. Vlade posted his career playoff high, 30 points, back in 1993 as a member of the Lakers. The 30-point performance came in Game 3 of the Lakers' first-round series against the Phoenix Suns. Lakers losing that series to the Suns in 5 games. A little bit more on the slender side.
But finally, somebody coming and attacking Shaq with a game of skill. Vlade knocking down the outside jumper, poking shots away defensively, penetrating at Shaq, drawing the defense, getting on the offensive glass, realizing that Shaq is going to be looking to block shots in there, plus knocking away lob passes at the hoop. It's not about pushing and shoving. You got to counteract Shaq's game with a game that he has to respect and guard. A game of skill, as Vlade has shown magnificently tonight.
Marv, a reversal of fortune as Shaq is sitting down. The Lakers are shooting very poorly. This is not the kind of start they wanted, and this is the kind of start that Sacramento had after their first game at home and ended up spotting the Lakers a 14-point lead, which they never recovered from.
Kings in the midst of a 14-3 run, and the bad Laker shooting continues. They're now 6 for 21 from the field with Shaquille O'Neal sitting down. Devin George has checked in. We approach 1 minute remaining in this first quarter, and the Kings have a 29-15 advantage.
Well, this will be a real good test for the Lakers and their ability to come back from some adverse situations. situation after spotting this team a lead.
Turkoglu from downtown, and as he turned things around.
We're seeing an incredible level of confidence right now in Sacramento. Webber with the strong start, 4 buckets, 4 assists. Vlade torching Shaq. Now they got to keep it going and don't get relaxed.
Well, the good play by Christie to steal from Bryant. Here's Christie behind the back for Turkoglu. Lakers get back, and Sacramento has to reset.
Well, he wants to go one-on-one and doesn't really get the lane that he wants, but he's still hungry for this shot.
Shot clock down to 5. Nice ball movement. Christie rejected by Bryant with 3 on the 24.
One pass and one dribble too many. Bibby passed up a shot, and Christie took that extra dribble, so they got 3 to get it up and down.
Only 15 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Conversation between Samaki Walker and Vlade Divac on positioning on the inbounds.
This is a perfect place for the guy who's inbounding the ball to step right back and get it.
Well, Divac had it knocked away. Only 1 remaining on the shot clock.
Now you get to throw something up at the hoop and have Webber rise above the crowd and throw one down.
You said he doesn't have explosion.
Well, that was the plan, but Horry was able to step in front, and now the Lakers hold for the final shot of what has been a dismal first quarter for the Lakers. Here is Bryant. That would have counted. So the Los Angeles Lakers, 6 of 22 shooting. The Kings on fire, 14 of 26. The entire team getting into the act. Chris Webber, 8 points, 4 assists. Hedo Turkoglu, 3 of 6 for 7 points. The Kings, 32. The Lakers, 15.
Welcome back to Los Angeles. I'm Jim Gray. Kings are up 32-15 as we get ready for the second quarter. Take a look at Peja Stojakovic. He has not played in this series. He was out warming up before the game, ran up and down several times on the court. His right ankle was injured in Game 3 against the Dallas Mavericks. He has not played in the 2 weeks since. He now joins us here, Peja. How did your workout go? And do you feel as though your ankle will allow you to play in this series?
I don't know if I'm going to be ready for this series, but it's getting better each and every day, and I can see progress on the floor. You know, I want to make sure when I'm ready, when I step on the floor, that I can help my team. It's
still quite ginger, and I saw it before the game. It's still quite swollen. Would you be able to cut if you had to play?
Well, I don't know. Like I said, if I wanted to play, I want to make sure that I can help my team. I don't want to take something away from the team, because Lakers, they're a really good team. They can take advantage of that.
In a hypothetical situation, I asked you before the game, and I asked your coach, if they needed you in the last 3 seconds to put up a shot or to be a decoy out there, could you do that? Would you do that?
I don't know. It's a different game situation and recap situation. That's not same thing.
How about what your team's done here in the first quarter? Are you surprised that they've jumped out this well? And what's been the major adjustment?
They're doing a great job. You know, they're guarding Shaquille O'Neal very well, and putting pressure on other guys too.
All right, Peja, as Bobby Jackson goes in, that basket will count. Yes. Back to you, Marv.
You know, Jim Holds waiting for the play to develop, and excellent job on the call. Incidentally, Peja Stojakovic was Sacramento's leading scorer in the 4 regular season meetings with the Lakers, averaging 18 a game, and the Kings open up the second quarter. Bobby Jackson, who has played so well during the course of this playoff run, not able to complete the three-point play, but it's a 19-3 run now by the Kings. Lindsey Hunter has come out for the first time, getting the step, and then firing one, I believe intended for Samaki Walker.
Turnovers have been a big issue, and that's really gotten the Sacramento Kings more intense and more aggressive at the defensive end. So Phil Jackson, who is sitting like the big Sphinx, is going to let him play out of it.
But Sacramento is playing contained defense. They're not gambling. They're not double teaming. And their offense has been exquisite. So all Sacramento in the early going here. What are the Lakers going to do to respond?
You don't double team people that aren't making shots.
Here's Bryant kicking it out. Hunter putting the move on Turkoglu. Got a piece of it from behind Scott Potter, who just checked in on the rebound. And again, the Lakers are hearing the boos.
Just a golden chance. Bobby Jackson was wide open, tough shot. So I guess the guy has finally found his way into this game. Turkoglu got 2 more.
9 points for Hedo Turkoglu.
How long is Shaq going to be sitting over on the bench then? The pace of these games, this guy can play 48, no problem.
36-15 the score. Lindsey Hunter able to hit for the Lakers.
If they don't wake up soon, he may take the rest of this game off.
Well, that's the end of a 21-3 run. Webber firing one up, and back comes Kevin George. Good pick by Walker to set up the shot, but George not able to convert.
A lot of dribbling for Los Angeles. Kobe should be the only guy dribbling to get his own shot.
Here's Jackson. Whoa! nice thought, but a traveling violation.
What the Kings can't do is help the Lakers get back in the game. Don't start making mistakes. Don't start getting overly crazy about trying to make big plays.
Yeah, but their game, Steve, is to attack. And if they go away from their game, they're going to lose the momentum that they've got here.
George is fouled from behind. Hit by Webber. That's his second.
At the moment, as Webber picks up his second, the Lakers only have one serious offensive threat, and that is Kobe Bryant. And Bryant's off to a rough start. So all they have to do is stay in front of the Lakers right now, make them make some shots.
All right, here's Hunter for 3. Not much offense on the floor for the Lakers. Bibby is back, coming on for Turkoglu. So Bibby and Jackson, small backcourt now for Sacramento. Webber on a quick release, and Webber hits again. He's 5 for 9. He has 10 points along with 5 assists. He has played outstanding basketball in his first half.
And no hesitation whatsoever. He gets it, he's just delivering that ball. He gets in trouble when he comes to a stop up top.
Was that a jumper?
He's got it all going for him right now.
And a loose ball foul on Samaki Walker.
The question would be asked, how do you like me now, Bill? As Webber is drumming him up from the outside, rebounding, doing everything. Big game from Webber early.
I love 21-point leads on the road.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Infiniti, makers of innovative, high-performance premium vehicles. By Michelob Light, the great taste of Michelob Light makes any occasion seem special. By Adidas ClimaCool, giving you 360 degrees of ventilation. Feel the breeze. And by McDonald's, we'd love to see you smile.
We enjoy the opportunity to play in front of 20,000 people who are screaming at us because we have the opportunity to shut them up. A lot of the times we get comfortable in the fact that we make them cheer all the time. And it's something that as a man we've went out and we've tried to improve on the road, and we've done that. So the obstacle of Staples isn't a big thing. It's nothing gets as loud as Arco, so we're not scared, that's for sure.
And they have certainly quieted this crowd here in Los Angeles. The Kings 4-0 on the road in this year's playoffs, winning twice in Utah and twice in Dallas, doing it in games 3 and 4 in the first round and then the semis.
And then it all started, their great road play, when they lost at home late in the regular season at Arco to the Los Angeles Lakers in the game we did. They lost at the very end. They were going on a very long, interminable road trip. They swept that road trip, and they have not looked back.
Shaquille O'Neal is checked back in. Evan George on the rebound. Brian Shaw on the floor for the first time. Here's Horry, played by Webber, who has 2 fouls. Hunter had the baseline cut off by Jackson, and that was into the head. And Lindsey Hunter has provided a lift with a couple of buckets.
If you're Phil Jackson, you're telling your guys you want to try to get this thing within reach by the break. They're not going to catch up all in a quarter, so they've got to just start grinding this game out and getting control of the tempo.
How about coming back with Vlade Divac?
Horry with beautiful defensive play, and off the steal, Shaw sets it up. He has George wide open for 3. Shaq trying to keep it alive. Jackson could not save it. So the ball will go back to the Lakers. Turkoglu's had the hot hand coming on for Doug Christie. Let's check in with Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, during that last timeout, Phil Jackson told his team, hey, guys, we're shooting the ball real poorly, and we're putting up a lot of shots, an abundance of shots too quickly. Let's get back and run our offense. There's an awful lot of game left here. I guarantee you we won't shoot the ball this poorly as the game goes on, as evidenced, Marv, by Shaquille O'Neal right there.
Well, for Shaq, his second field goal. 2 for 5 from the field. He has 4 points, and the Kings now lead 38-21.
And Brian Shaw making important contributions regularly in desperate times for Phil Jackson, but with Vlade Divac on the bench, the Kings run the risk of losing his hot hand.
I think for the Kings, their lead is 17, and they don't want to give that up very quickly, so they got to make sure that they move the ball and get high percentage shots.
And the Kings bailed out on that foul by Devin George. Only 2 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
Scott Pollard defensively doing everything he possibly can. Holds his ground, forces Shaq to take the shot that Scott Pollard wants him to take. The Kings can live with that. Phil Jackson texts winner Jimmy Clemens. They will not accept Devin George's breakdown defensively. Going for a pump fake on a guy moving left. Inexcusable.
Turkoglu has suffered at the foul out of the playoffs, just 7 of 15 from the line coming in. Well, you can log on to NBA.com to bid in the Where's Walton auction. Steve, this is getting out of hand. For exclusive memorabilia from his Love It Live tour. Proceeds, it says here, to benefit reading is fundamental. It's all at NBA.com.
Now that was a tour to remember. Surpassing everything that's come before.
Here's George taking it to the rim for his first field goal. And the Kings now lead 39-23.
The Lakers defense starting to pick up, and they're being more aggressive way out on the floor, which is making more time come off the clock against the Kings offense.
Shot clock at 6. Bibby for 3. Mike Bibby has 9 points. And the Kings now lead 42-23.
Look what kind of shots they get when you go inside Sacramento. Chris Webber draws the double team and frees Bibby wide up. And then Shaq O'Neal just delivers right back, getting to the foul line. When you got 2 guys on you, Steve, that's the kind of three-point shooting you want. And three-point shooting has not been a major factor for Sacramento with Peja on the bench with the injury.
Pollard has had the problem. He had it in the second quarter of game 2, in which he flopped, and then Shaq went crazy, dominated that second quarter of play. He's playing behind him, but he's not really getting him far enough away from the rim.
Well, Shaq in game 2, 23 and 35 coming in the first half. He had 13 consecutive points in one stretch for the Lakers. Lakers now trail 42-24, 6:20 remaining in the first half. Marv Albert, Bill Walton, Steve Snapper Jones, Jim Gray from Staples in Los Angeles. Turkoglu met by O'Neal on his foot. Shot clock down at 2. Turkoglu has to fight. And it's a 24-second violation of the ball, not making contact with the rim.
Laker defense has come alive. Since Shaq re-entered the ball game, it's a totally different Los Angeles team. And how is Rick Adelman going to counter that and trying to keep this momentum and sustain this once comfortable lead, but now with the crowd coming alive, a bit more tenuous here in Los Angeles.
42-24? Is that comfortable?
You don't sense a shift in momentum a little bit here, Steve?
No, not yet.
O'Neal making contact with Pollard, who was trying to draw a foul. So Shaq with 7 points, and the Kings now lead 42-26. Webber played by Horry. Turkoglu using the screen from Pollard. Pollard with the rebound. Pollard on the tip. And knocks it out of bounds. Lakers wanted to get it up court in a hurry, but a timeout has been called, I believe. Now, Brian Shaw claims that he was not getting a clear indication, but it is a timeout. Shaw was trying to break down court, and it was chaos.
Order has been restored,
yes.
though.
5.5 to go. First half. Kings up by 16.
There's a house wrecking company that wants Shaq to come to work for them. That's how tough it is to deal with them on the low post.
And then Sacramento head coach Rick Adelman disputing the decisions in terms of the officials in making calls involving Shaquille O'Neal, and Rick discussed it with the referee Steve Javie.
All right, relax. Rick, do me a favor.
What?
Do you think the game's not going to be under control? Yeah, Rick.
I'm just asking you. If he's allowed to do that, it's not going to be under control.
Rick, do me a favor. Rick, do me a favor. I understand your point. I do. Rick, listen to me for a second. I understand your point. We're going to do the best of our ability, referee the best of our, give you the fairest shake in the world.
That.
So we'll take care of it.
You can't let him do that. We can't.
I agree.
At that point, Steve will say anything to end the discussion. Leave me alone.
But Rick Adelman makes a great point there. Scott Pollard is standing there, and Shaq just bumps him right off his spot. That has to be an offensive foul. You have to force Shaq to move. He's more than capable of doing it. The referees can't allow him to just run people over like that.
So difficult, though, to officiate when you're dealing with Shaquille O'Neal. Nice play. Kobe Bryant makes his return with a good setup for Robert Horry. Can you recall a situation in the NBA where one player was so dominant at his position, a position with no one else, that you could even put close to the top player? No. Thank you. Never been a scenario like this as Bibby is able to hit at any position.
The gap is so huge.
Oh, Bibby with the steal, and Bibby hits again. 13 points for Bibby. The Lakers have not had an answer for Mike Bibby.
Phil Jackson telling us beforehand that the two-guard lineup of Jackson and Bibby has really caused them unexpected problems. Jackson has been the master in history of taking little guards out of the play.
Mark, do you sense a change in the momentum?
Yes. is fouled. Bennett Salvatore says yes, the basket counts, and the foul on Bibby.
Huge effort that time by Mike Bibby in making this shot and then taking advantage of the Lakers as a misfire, and he makes a steal and comes right back to knock another shot down. So when Adelman says he's not afraid to make big shots, he is not. They call that foul on the ground.
Okay, they just changed the call. The official standing to the right of Shaquille O'Neal had indicated the basket counts.
9 on the shot clock. Lakers have to attack quick, but Sacramento has to be able, as Bennett Salvatore raised it off. Right. Sacramento has to do a better job of helping Vlade on the boards. Offensive foul, Shaq clearing out Vlade in the low post.
And the foul is called on O'Neal. That is his first.
Phil Jackson now up and complaining and trying to fight for his guy, get him a fair shake.
Mike Bibby has scored Sacramento's last 7 points. Broken up by Horry, recovered by Jackson.
Those are the kinds of plays that Sacramento doesn't have to make. They got the lead. Make the Lakers defend them. Move the ball.
Webber. Jackson with the tip. Bobby Jackson, who goes maybe 6 foot, able to slip his way inside and chip it home. Here's Fox. Divac's got a piece. O'Neal slamming it through. So Shaq has 9, but it's been all Sacramento in the first half with 3.5 to go. They lead by 18.
What Jackson has told his guys is you've got to box Bobby Jackson out, and they're letting him freelance, and he's shown in every single series. If you let him get in around the glass, he's going to make something happen.
But more importantly for Sacramento, though, they've got to contain defense on the perimeter and not let Fox and Bryant, Shaw, and Kobe Bryant always get easy looks there, because that's going to just allow Shaq to do whatever they want to do on the glass.
Fox off the steal. O'Neal. And that gets this crowd going, although the Lakers trail by 16.
Come back and run something for Sacramento through Vlade Divac. Try to get him back in control of his center position if you can.
Offensive foul. That's number 3 on Webber.
Kansas have forgotten how they got the lead. They passed the basketball to get the lead. Now they're starting to dribble the basketball, and the Laker defense are getting some breaks as Webber doing his imitation of Shaq.
What's the difference of that and Shaq hitting Scott Pollard? But with Shaq running the floor beautifully, showing no ill effects from the injuries that have plagued him for so long, Fox just drives it in there and lays it out. The big man, throw it down, throw it down.
Ahmad Rashad in New York. Coming up on Verizon Wireless at the half, we'll look ahead to Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The series shifts to Boston tomorrow with the Nets and the Celtics tied at a game apiece. We'll also have Tom's thoughts on the first half in Los Angeles.
Well, the thing of beauty in the first half for the Kings, drive, draw, dish, guys making shots. And if you're the Lakers, if I was Phil Jackson and the ball didn't get touched by Shaq every single time down the court, you're coming out of the game and you're getting fined.
All right, now back to Marv, Bill, and Steve.
Thanks, Ahmad. Sacramento at 51% from the field on 21 through 41. Lakers shooting only 37%. Bloody Divac, a major contributor. 6 points. Done it in the assist column. And fell up with a couple of block shots. Meanwhile, Kobe Bryant just 1 for 7. And as far as we know, the two-game meal was not a problem for Kobe. O'Neal, though, has had the touch. He now has 13 points.
They're going exclusively to Shaq. You want to know the difference between Shaq and Chris? One letter. Shaq's got 4 little words in his name, 4 little initials. Chris got 5.
But Chris Webber has 3 fouls, and now the Kings have to find some offense right now.
Divac, quick release on the running hook.
Beautiful competitive response by Vlade, quieting this crowd somewhat. Now they've got to get some help on Shaq because you don't want Vlade to pick up a couple of quick fouls here in the closing 2 minutes.
Ryan Shaw with the open 3. Kept alive. Sacramento has led by as many as 21. They're up by 16. Fox once again comes up short, but another offensive rebound for the Lakers.
And this is what they weren't getting.
Good look from Horry to find O'Neal, and Shaq 7 of 10, 15 points. Here's Jackson, and pass. Bryant with the steal. A minute and a half remaining in the first half. Yes! And now you get the sense that things beginning to turn. The Lakers within 12.
Yeah, this is what the Kings didn't want, to make those kinds of mistakes, to bring the crowd back in it, to give the Laker defense some energy.
Bibby is fouled by Shaw. 4th team foul, non-shooting affair.
Lakers have come alive here behind Shaquille O'Neal's brilliance, moving around Vlade. No chance for an offensive foul there. Shaq, incredibly great deep position there, just overpowering Vlade, who doesn't foul. And then Brian Shaw, who always comes through in these seemingly desperate moments here, stroking threes. Or stroking long jumpers. Now, what kind of response are we going to get from Sacramento here, who've been stuck here in the high 40s and low 50s for what seems like an eternity?
And now, they say that Bibby was fouled in the act, so he does go to the line. And Bibby's the high scorer for the Kings. He now has 14.
What the Kings have to do is stop trying to do too much. Get back to playing a simple, easy game. They have control of the lead. Don't try to overpass. Don't try to make responses that are not necessary.
But also don't get conservative. You have to keep attacking. They have yet to get to 100 points in this series.
Just under 1 minute remaining in the first half. Fox, nowhere to go, has to throw it back. Shot clock at 5. Bryant try to call for time, and he does get the call. Kings try to tie him up. Rick Adelman is looking for a traveling violation, but it's a timeout, and the Lakers maintain possession.
Well, Well, the Los Angeles Lakers depend on Kobe Bryant to bail them out against the shot clock. This time he gets away with the travel, but fortunately calls the timeout to make a save. They get 3 seconds on the clock coming back.
That knee to the neck by Turkoglu, always a good defensive move.
What are you saying?
Hey, when the ball's on the floor, you got to go for it. So you're not going to luck into beating the Lakers. You're not going to hope that maybe you hit a lucky shot at the end. You got to go for everything.
Down to 2, down to 1. Rick Fox now 0 for 6 from the field. It's a 52-38. Sacramento lead, 35 seconds remaining in the first half.
This is a big possession for them because if they get a hoop or a score, you know, they maintain that edge they have.
Bounce pass attempted by Divac. Broke it up. Lakers with 20 on the shot clock. And the foul is called on Divac from behind. At first it appeared they were going to hold for final shot, but they saw that Shaq had the position.
They had a 17-point lead at the end of one. If they could get the possession and the score, they would go in 15, 16 points and feel really good about withstanding the run.
14 foul on Sacramento. That was the foul to give. Here's Fox getting inside for his first bucket.
And they give up a hoop right there, and the Laker defense comes right back to make them use time on the clock.
Down to 10 seconds in the half. It's a 12-point Kings lead. And Sacramento holding for final shot. Down to 2. Broken up by George. Nice play. And the question is, was that a foul? Shaw was hit from behind. It was undercut. And apparently, it is ruled no call. Brian Shaw is upset as time has run out in this first half.
A bizarre turn of events here in the closing seconds. But the length of the Laker defense standing up over the taller Sacramento Kings, and Rick Adelman is beside himself. He can't believe where is the justice.
No question that he caved him in, and I'm sure the official is saying time was running out, and Brian Shaw is saying, where's my call?
So it's a 12-point Sacramento lead. Mike Bibby with 14. Chris Webber, 10 points, 6 assists, but has 3 personal fouls. He's with Jim Grigg. Jim?
All right, thank you very much, Marv. Chris, what have you guys done here in the first half? You've shot the ball so well. What has enabled this team to dominate the Lakers here at home?
Well, we're just being patient. You know, myself, Vlade, Mike, we know that we can get the shot that we want, whether it be a jump or inside. But the first option, just because you're over, is not always the best. Sometimes you want to get other movement and check your second and third options like a quarterback. Then if you don't have it, come back and shoot it. So we're just being real patient and trying to play our game. And hopefully, you know, they'll ref the game not to score the second half.
Well, that's an interesting point. You have 3 fouls. Are you going to be able to stay in this game?
You know, I don't know. I'm averaging 2 offensive fouls a game, and I'm not that strong. And but that's the way it goes. And to be the best, you got to beat the best. So you can't cry. You just got to put that out there and then just keep playing.
All right, Chris, good luck in the second half.
Thank you. Hi, Mama.
All right, back to you, Marv.
All right, thanks, Jim. The Lakers led by Shaquille O'Neal, who came on once again with a strong second quarter, 13 of his 15 in the second. The Kings shooting 52% for the half. They've led by as many as 21. They lead by 12. Coming up, Ahmad Rashad, Tom Tolbert on Verizon Wireless at the half. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
This is Verizon Wireless at the half. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
It is halftime at the Staples Center where the Kings lead the Lakers by 12 in Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. Ahmad Rashad and Tom Tolbert back in New York with Verizon Wireless at the half. Tom, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I think when you look at the first half, both teams have something to build on for the second half because they both played some of their best ball in the playoffs in the first half. For the Kings, it was getting the ball, it was penetrating, driving, dishing, and kicking out is what they did. And for the Lakers, it was letting Shaq touch the ball. And we're going to show you the Kings right here. This is when the Kings were rolling. Get the ball, drive, make Shaq play defense over the Webber dunk. Did a lot of that with 11 assists in the first quarter. And right here, while Shaq doesn't get out and run on the break a lot, you have to let him touch the ball. Kobe Bryant scored the first bucket of the game. He has yet to make another field goal in the game. So with him being, I don't know if his stomach's bothering him or what, but he's not playing up to par. you have to let Shaq touch the ball each and every time down the court. He makes everybody else's job so much easier.
Stomach might not be bothering, but his jumper is.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow we'll bring you Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Nets and the Celtics. Boston grabbed home court advantage with their Game 2 victory that tied the series at a game apiece. And for a report, let's head to Boston and join Mike Bryant and my main man, PJ Carlissimo.
Big weekend in Boston, not just because of Game 3 between the Celtics and the Nets. You have the Yankees and the Red Sox out of Fenway Park. And, of course, the Memorial Day celebrations, big holiday weekend, could be a huge weekend for the Celtics. They take 2 at home. They take command of the series. Now, they got what they wanted in New Jersey, getting a split of the first 2 games. Ironically, winning Game 2, despite Paul Pierce really shooting poorly from both the field and the free throw line. You do not expect him to continue to shoot like this.
No, I don't expect him to. Jim O'Brien doesn't, and I know Byron Scott doesn't either. But Paul Pierce did a lot of other things. He came up with his 6th playoff double-double, 14 boards. He also got 4 assists. More importantly, the Celtics hit the boards, they played defense, and they got the split they were looking for. Now they're delighted to be back home at the Fleet Center.
Last year, they probably don't win a game when Pierce plays like that. In fact, if Antoine Walker and Paul Pierce don't play big, they don't win any big games. But this is a different team this year. Kenny Anderson says it's a different mindset from his 2 All-Stars.
I always tell Paul, or you get double teamed, you got to read it. You got to be the point guard now. You got to see, what the defense is giving you. And if a guy's open, you pass, your job is done. You just got to trust in the guy making the shot. And I think the 2 stars has trust in their teammates.
Mike, I think Kenny Anderson makes a great point. Playoff basketball is all about adjustments. The coaches set their defenses to take away the main guys, obviously Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker. And what we saw in Game 2, Tony Battie, Eric Williams, Kenny Anderson himself, other Celtics stepped up to help the 2 superstars.
Meanwhile, for the New Jersey Nets, it's all about Jason Kidd. He's had back-to-back triple-doubles in this series. Ironically, after Game 2, people were saying, yes, he had a triple-double, but he didn't play up to par. That shows you the kind of standard that Jason Kidd has set. Yet Jim O'Brien, the coach of the Celtics, he's very well aware how good Jason Kidd can be and knows his #1 priority in defending Kidd.
We don't want Kidd to get it to the paint because ugly things happen for the Boston Celtics when Kidd gets it to the paint. And not only does he pass the ball, but he passes it with the right touch, the right height, where the guy can catch it and do something with it. Our whole thing, we have a great chance of going to the finals if we keep Kidd out of the paint.
The reason it's so important for the Boston Celtics to keep Jason Kidd out of the lane, Mike, is when Jason gets into the paint, now he gets the supporting cast involved. He'll find Kerry Kittles, he'll find Keith Van Horn. The players who stepped up in Game 1 will be more of a factor if Jason is able to penetrate.
As we send it back to the studios in New York, Bostonians love some NBC announcers. Of course, they still love what Bill Walton did, helping the Celtics win the '86 championship. And they also feel that Tom Tolbert was instrumental in many Celtic wins over the years.
That's 2. He got you one time last week when you said that he scored more points than a dead man, saying that you did that too, and then he just got you again.
Well, I know Mike likes to run marathons, and he better be able to run those marathons because I'm quick in that first 100 yards. He can beat me after that.
We will have more on the Nets and Celtics when Verizon Wireless at the half continues in just a moment. Welcome back. The Celtics tied the Eastern Conference Finals with their 93-86 victory on Tuesday, and they have to feel good about winning a game where Paul Pierce was just 3 for 20. So I would assume that Paul Pierce is due and should be busting out.
I think in the game against New Jersey, I think it was decent defense, but I think Paul Pierce just missed a lot of shots that he's normally going to make. I mean, 3 for 20, that's not going to happen again. If you're the Celtics, you got to feel very comfortable going home at 1-1. And let's not forget, this is the kind of thing that happened in Detroit in the last series. They go to Detroit. Detroit beats them up in the first game. They come back and win the second game. They go home. They take care of business. But if you're the Celtics, you're thinking, man, we got not only Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker was, I think, 11 for 32. He shot horribly, too. They still end up winning that game.
In playoff games, it's all about game-to-game adjustments. The Celtics made their adjustment in Game 2. What kind of adjustments do the Nets make coming up?
They need to get out more. They need to get out and start running more, because what happened is they did that in the first game, and when they didn't run, they were able to get easy layup after easy layup. Well, the Celtics, through switching and hedging a little bit, basically staying closer to home is what they were doing. They weren't extending their defense. They weren't giving up those easy layups. Now you're forcing Kenyon Martin to take jump shots, Jason Kidd to take jump shots, Richard Jefferson, so on and so forth. You don't want to let them get the layups they got in the first game. That's the adjustment they made. The Nets are going to try to get back out and run a little bit more, I would imagine, in Game 3.
All right, so here's our lineup for tomorrow. The WNBA tips off its 6th season as the defending champion Los Angeles Sparks take on the New York Liberty at 3 o'clock Eastern. That's followed by Game 3 between the Nets and the Celtics as the Eastern Conference Finals shift to the Fleet Center in Boston. And then we'll bring you a sporting event with a very different meaning. It was a contest involving the heroes of September 11th, a football game between New York City firefighters and police officers, the bravest against the finest.
It was the most emotional game ever played.
Now I'm going to talk about 911. There were 3 towers in the city of New York prior to 911. 2 of them went down. The third one's standing in this room. Just go out and show the guts. You showed up September 11th, and you'll take it home, baby. That's it.
They played in the memory of those lost. Her late husband should have been the quarterback. There is the coach who watched in horror. This man was saved by an officer he'll see for the first time since. A spirited detective comes out of retirement just to play in the game. A game they, to a man, said meant everything. They'll teach every generation the true meaning of brotherhood. America's heroes, the bravest versus the finest, tomorrow night at 8.
Coming up, we'll send you back to Los Angeles for the second half of Game 3 between the Kings and the Lakers. Thanks for joining us on Verizon Wireless at the half.
This has been Verizon Wireless at the half. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Can you hear me now? Good.
24 hours a day. WBAL TV 11 Insta Weather.
A look at the Lakers as they get ready to make their return. We welcome you back to Staples. Marv Albert along with Bill Walton, Steve Snapper Jones. 12-point lead for Sacramento here at the half. They led by as many as 21. They shot at a blistering pace, 52%. And Steve, the Kings getting balanced scoring in that first half.
That's been really the secret to their success all season long. They average 6 guys in double figures, and when they can have this kind of offensive efficiency, rough to beat.
All right, in the first half for the Lakers, now Shaquille O'Neal certainly did his part, but forget about where's Walton? Where's Kobe? 1 for 7 in the first half.
It has not been a pretty picture for Kobe Bryant or a number of other Lakers out there. Rick Fox is also 1 for 7. The Sacramento Kings front line has neutralized the Lakers' big power game. When you look at Kobe Bryant's shot chart here, 6 misses, good balance, good distribution of those shots. The difference has been Mike Bibby has been able to come in with 15 big points. And with Kobe Bryant not delivering in the backcourt for Los Angeles, Phil Jackson has to come up with some new answers.
It's the Kings 52, the Lakers 40 as we head to the second half. The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Lincoln. There are those who travel and those who travel well. By Sprite, obey your thirst. By NikeBasketball.com. And by MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
With Rick Adelman outside as we get ready for the second half, Phil Jackson told us yesterday the third quarter is the worst quarter for the Lakers. You know they're going to make a run. What did you tell the guys?
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about ourselves. They put some pressure on us defensively, and we just start playing too fast. We got to slow down, take advantage of the skills we got.
Pleased with the first half?
Yes, very much.
Rick, thank you. Good luck in the second half.
All right.
Marv?
Thanks, Jim. Yes, the Lakers have had their problems at the start of third quarters in the postseason. You know, you look back to Game 2 Monday night in Sacramento, the Kings winning at 96-90, and the Lakers seem to have a difficult time matching the Kings' energy level, particularly at the defensive end. Sacramento appeared to be more aggressive, and that's the case for most of the first half.
And that's got to be their story right here, because they have got to make the Lakers continue to climb uphill. They can't do what they did in the second quarter. 8 turnovers, 12 points in the quarter.
Foul trouble, a major factor. Webber has 3, Vlade has 2. Nobody else has more than 1 in the entire game. Plus, can Vlade Divac find the magic that he had early in this game?
Lakers open up by swinging the ball, but 5 on the shot clock remaining. Fisher from way downtown.
Not a good way to start the third quarter when you're down 12 against a team that's shooting 50+%.
But that was beat the clock that time. They wanted to have ball movement, player movement. They got all that, but they didn't get the shot they wanted.
Webber trying to slip it. Divac, so the Lakers get it back. Phil Jackson opening with Kobe Bryant, Derek Fisher in the backcourt, Shaquille O'Neal, Rick Fox, and Robert Horry up front. Shaq getting position. Horry missing on what would have been an incredible tip.
Good job defensively that time by Vlade Divac. Forced Shaq into taking that turnaround jumper, stepping away from the hoop.
Turkoglu showing so much confidence following the 0 for 8 in game number 1 that he came out, missed his first 3 shots in game 2, and then picked it up. And he has shot very well here tonight. O'Neal thought he was fouled. Does not get the call.
Third quarter of big playoff games. The referees invariably swallow their whistle. You got to come out and play through everything here.
This is a new rule. I've never heard that before, third quarter.
Here's Christie from downtown. And O'Neal tried to keep it alive, but knocked it out of bounds.
Well, let's see if Shaq's emotions work for him. He did not get the call at the other end. Missed this rebound right here, but he definitely got hit on the arm on that jump hook.
Now Webber at the post, and Horry able to slap it away. Recovered by Webber. Bibby for 3. Turkoglu able to keep it alive.
Stepped out of bounds.
Tried to back it up to pick up steam and stepped out.
Rick Adelman frustrated, disappointed. If Chris Webber will deliver that ball quicker to Mike Bibby and give him more time. He was open initially, but the slow pass allowed the defense to recover. Bibby had to rush it.
2 minutes gone by in the third. Fox getting the step. Played well by Turkoglu. And again, the Lakers off to a slow start in the third. Here is Webber. Yes, Chris Webber extends to a 16-point Sacramento lead.
When you want to get open, go set a screen. The Kings are executing pick and roll, that high screen, very well tonight. Webber with a quick hitting attack, unstoppable there.
Fisher on a quick release. O'Neal with the rebound.
In the second quarter, the Lakers got a lot of second chances. Shaq.
Oh, catch.
No.
Oh, that's waved off.
Stepped out of bounds.
Shaquille stepping out of bounds, and the Lakers 0 for 5 from the field here in the third. Webber continues to hit the outside shot. He now has 14 points.
When he gets the ball, there's no hesitation. He's not the playmaker. Right now, he's the finisher. It's either Bibby or Christie or Vlade making the plays, and they got hot hands in Turkoglu and Chris Webber. Milk him.
Off the turnover. Back comes Bibby. And the Lakers not able to get going here at the start of the third. And this after warnings from the coaching staff about the poor play in the third. Bibby pops it out. Divac, yes! The Sacramento Kings showing a great deal of poise. Now lead by 20. And Phil Jackson subscribing to the theory of letting them play through it.
And if you're Sacramento, you got to go for the kill right here. You know the Lakers are going to come back at some point. Don't get casual here. And that's an offensive foul on Shaq.
That's his second foul.
Vlade make sure he's okay, but he's going to lead not only with the rear end, but that elbow as well. And that time, Vlade takes it right on the chin.
Shaq has got to do a better job of getting his feet outside of the stationary defender, whether it's Pollard, Vlade, or Webber. He's trying to go right through him.
Turkoglu draws the foul. Sacramento has come out and scored the first 8 points of this third quarter. The foul committed by Rick Fox.
This is what they wanted to do. Put the ball in the basket. They don't care where Chris Webber makes the shot, but make the shot. And Webber got 2 from the same spot. And you can see the defensive rivalry lacking right now, not reacting to the pass, not there in time. And Turkoglu at the line.
Turkoglu, a 73% free throw shooter during the regular season, but has had his problems in the playoffs.
But one of the great things that Sacramento did in winning Game 2, they got to the free throw line. In Game 1, it was not a factor for them on the plus side. Playing at home, you have to do that. They've come out here tonight and gotten to that line with the exception of Chris Webber, who has yet to take a free throw. But Turkoglu has got to connect there and convert.
They're a good free throwing team, and that's the thing they haven't done well tonight. They're not making those free throws.
Christie got a piece of that shot attempted by Bryant. So Kobe Bryant is just 1 of 8 from the field. Off the steal. Here's Fisher for Bryant, challenging Divac. And there's a field goal for the Lakers in the third quarter.
That's where the Kings got in trouble in the second quarter. You see the double team coming. Mike Bibby, don't hold the ball. Get rid of it, and then cut to the bucket.
If you're Kobe Bryant, just keep working. He gets called for a foul here. Kobe on the beautiful cut. We're seeing Sacramento attacking the hoop. Guys without the ball moving. And Kobe Bryant knows he's having a nightmare of a game. 1 for 7 in the first half. Comes out just throwing up some tough shots. When they start to fall on layups, then he can try doing the spectacular.
Christie getting the start. And fouled. So Christie able to beat Bryant off the dribble, and O'Neal came over to help and collects his third.
There is no question that Shaq was there and with the foul trying to really punish Doug Christie that time, but the Kings have got to make him pay. Knock down these free throws.
Christie at the line for the first time. Well, from the creator of Law and Order comes the new summer series, Crime and Punishment. Real cases, real courts, in real life. Crime and Punishment premieres Sunday, June 16th, right here on NBC. A timeout has been called. 7:21 remaining in the third. Sacramento up by 19. Well, Hollywood has come out in full force tonight for the Lakers and the Kings. Check out this group. Sidney Poitier is here. Wayne Gretzky. Brad Pitt preparing for his latest movie, playing the role of Bill Walton, the college years. Heather Locklear. Larry David discussing future projects with Gary Shandling. Steven Spielberg, Dustin Hoffman, Don Rickles, Spider-Man on hand, Tobey Maguire, tennis star Lindsay Davenport, Jack always on hand, this time with Adam Sandler, and the greatest right behind us. Pretty good group. This may be an all-time celebrity crowd, even for LA.
Without question. Also, without question, is the fact that Sacramento has to win this game. They've never won a playoff game at Staples. 0-5, average deficit of 14 points per game. Now they're in perfect position. They've got to sustain their offensive attack.
And all time, 1 up and 10 down here against the Lakers at Staples.
Well, you know, they've only scored the Lakers 2 points in just about 5 minutes of play.
Shot clock at 2. Horry not able to hit from three-point land.
Sacramento's defense. Vlade pushing Shaq out. Christie jumping in and out, thwarting Horry's attempts.
It's a 61-42 Sacramento lead. Divac. Horry on the rebound. Lakers not able to get anything going here in the third. The pass by Bryant, picked off.
Now, when you get a turnover in your Sacramento, you can't celebrate. That's a chance to come back and get something easy.
Oh, Webber! Able to put it down. Chris Webber with 16.
That's a play they run where Christie realizes that the defense is committed to him and he just throws it up on the board. You know your big guy is right there.
Steve, you're doubting that.
He's the only guy that knows it's a play. It's a wild shot.
When you're coming down the lane and you know that there's been a switch defensively, there's nobody there on Webber. Just put it high on the glass. That's what you do. That's what, as a big man, you tell your guards to do that.
Divac picked up the foul. His third. O'Neal not able to hit. And a loose ball foul against the Lakers.
Now we will find out about the poise of the championship Lakers. In the next 6 minutes, they got to start making a run. They have not scored. They've got no offensive rhythm, and they have got to begin to shut down the Kings.
Foul committed by Fox. Sacramento has equaled its biggest lead of the night. They're up by 21. They have led virtually all the way. Divac to the hook shot. And rebounded by Horry.
Speaking of running, Webber and Vlade have to make a personal commitment that they're going to run and run and run until the Lakers quit.
And you can hear the boos as it gets worse and worse for the Lakers.
Careless turnovers. I mean, Phil Jackson's over there pulling his hair out.
Now, if you're Sacramento, you got to stay aggressive. Don't stand around. Start moving that ball a little bit quicker, and don't always have to pop from the top.
Webber goes down low. Chris Webber showing the entire repertoire. 18 points, and he has also passed the ball well. He has 6 assists. He has 5 rebounds. Here's Bryant. O'Neal. That was not a set play.
No. And that's a really hard ball for Vlade to rebound because he's battling Shaq, trying to hold him off. But you're never going to win the championship unless you're a great defensive rebounding team.
Here is Turkoglu. This crowd wants to explode. The Lakers did make a run late second quarter, not able to sustain it. And Rick Fox continues to struggle. 1 of 9 from the field.
Well, the Lakers will have one more run in them, and it's up to the Kings to make that run not really mean anything. So they got to continue to knock down shots.
Well, the ball back for the Lakers. And now Devin George will check back in. He'll replace Rick Fox. Now, in the regular season, this is a Sacramento team that went 61-21. That's the best record in the NBA, assuring home court throughout the postseason. 61 wins, franchise record, their first ever Pacific Division title. First round of the playoffs. They beat Utah 3-1. A very tough series. Kobe Bryant with only his 3rd field goal. Then in the Western Conference semifinals, Sacramento very impressively knocked off Dallas in 5. And here in L.A. tonight, trying to take a 2-1 lead on the defending champions.
This is Brian Shaw time for Phil Jackson. Surprised he's been sitting over there for so long. Usually when it gets desperate, it's right to Shaw and he delivers.
Turkoglu continues to deliver. It's been a terrific... Oh, look out. Vlade Divac upset. Derek Fisher involved. The official, Don Vaden, separating the players.
Kobe caught Vlade with an elbow on the play after the ball went through the net, in the turning around to try to get back up the court.
Well, Vlade's still hot.
Well, he got caught right in the face with an elbow.
Well, not only did he get caught with the elbow, he got pushed in the mud by Kobe Bryant. He said, hey, don't penalize me.
Turkoglu's wild runner kisses beautifully off the glass, and then the other side, the push in the back by Kobe Bryant was caught Vlade off balance, and then when he came back to get himself upright, the forearm right to the face.
And double technicals handed out to Kobe Bryant. Vlade Divac, 3.5 remaining in the third. Here's Bryant. Divac hit the floor. Bibby able to recover. Christie for 3. Yes! And the Kings now lead 70 relaxing evening of basketball here for the Lakers at Staples.
Vlade is playing fabulous. He's got to respond here with poise and confidence. Block shot, Webber.
Loose ball foul on Turkoglu, who's hitting a technical foul. Steve Javi did not like the reaction to that call by Turkoglu.
And now Brian Shaw finally checking in. Phil Jackson really going to the edge of how far you can get down before you can still have a chance to come back and win it.
To the edge, he's there and beyond. 6 points in the quarter, that's all they scored. Some ragged offensive play by the Los Angeles Lakers, where they've only produced 6 points, has led to some very physical and unexpected play on their part. And Vlade Divac is stuck right in the middle of all of it for the Kings.
In the heat of the evening, when the dealing gets rough, it takes all you got to win on the road. Vlade Divac getting hit in the head, the penetration by Mike Bibby. Doug Christie, beautiful response, delivery. The three-point shooting has not been a good thing for Sacramento in this series, but it certainly has come alive. And Webber blocking from behind. Looks like Turkoglu has terrific position. Devin George just outworks him for the ball, and that gets you a technical foul.
Well, Steve Javi teeing up Hedo Turkoglu. Robert Horry will shoot the technical. Let's go over to Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, Mark, during that timeout, Rick Adelman pulled across Hedo Turkoglu, and he told him, hey, use your head. Steve Javi isn't playing. Remember who your opponent is. As for Vlade Divac, he turned to him and he said, hey, Vlade, not right now. Don't light any more fires. Marv?
Well, the Sacramento Kings have been on fire. They've maintained the excellent shooting, 53% from the field. They've outscored the Lakers here in the third quarter, 18-7. Just under 3 remaining in the third. O'Neal banking his way. Shaq coming up short. Kept alive. 2 on the shot clock. Shaw. The Lakers 1 of 10 from downtown, and the ball back to the Kings.
1 of 10 tonight? What were the numbers coming in before that? Was it just horrendous in games 1 and 2 combined?
3 of 19 in game 2. Phil Jackson saying that the three-point shooting was pathetic. They're just firing them up. Now they need the three-point shot as a foul is called. Divac's fouled in the act by Lindsey Hunter. Look at the three-point shooting through these conference finals. They have missed 26 of the last 29 coming into tonight's game.
One of the reasons that they're struggling, they have not been going through Shaq as much. In that second quarter, he dominated, and they got him the ball in that deep, low box where he really could do some damage. They haven't been able to do it, and these guys need Shaq to give them that freedom to stroke it from outside. Horry's the only one that's been able to strike.
If you're Sacramento, keep scoring. Keep running it through Webber and Vlade all the time. Vlade's got an edge to his game right now after the confrontation, after getting hammered.
That was deflected by Christie, so the Lakers hold on.
When was the last time, and you've done a lot of Laker games, Marv, where you've seen the Lakers only score 7 in a quarter in the playoffs?
This is the worst performance that I have seen from this club this year, be it in person or watching on television. George's pass collected by Christie, and let's not take anything away from Sacramento. It has been a brilliant game for the Kings at both ends.
2 key guys, Christie and Turkoglu, who both stunk it up in Sacramento, are red hot and playing well in all aspects of the game.
But there's no question that once again Sacramento came out with the high energy level. George comes up short. O'Neal is blocked by Divac. Shaw not able to hit, kept alive. Lindsey Hunter now will regroup. He has the new shot clock. Here's George. Challenging Divac.
Good play by Vlade to let it go. Vlade's got 3 fouls. Devin George had to step on him. Now you got to get it back on the offensive end.
71-49. Sacramento, and the foul called on Brian Shaw.
Brown is going to feel as as though they didn't get a fair shake with the whistles, and Phil Jackson just has that look. Well, guys, we have to learn something from this one tonight, because Sacramento was the aggressor from the start of the period, and throughout this ball game, they have set the tone.
I don't think officiating is a question here at all.
Absolutely not.
For the fans, because that's how the fans of Sacramento felt after game one.
Well, this is a crowd that, unless there is a dramatic turn, that will be filing out very early in the fourth quarter. 73-49 Kings, coming up on 1 minute remaining in the third. Lakers 4 for 21 from the field in this third quarter, and the shots have been way off. Lindsey Hunter with a nice fake, not able to hit the three, and knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Devin George.
Sacramento, if they want to keep the momentum that they have right now, the guards, Bibby and Christie, when Jackson comes in, they've got to do a better job of cutting the foul line. The big guys are holding off Shaq inside, but the long rebound, those are going, giving the Lakers second chance opportunities.
This game is the Kings to win or lose now, and they've just got to continue to play with some poise and make sure they continue to score the ball. Bibby.
Webber shooting over Horry. Bibby again with the back tap, but Hunter is on it. Only 9 points for the Lakers here in the third. Shaw for three. Finally, the Lakers hit from downtown. Only their second three-pointer. And now the Kings can hold for a final shot of this third quarter. Kings now lead 73-52. Down to 5. And a blocking foul. Foul called on Hunter.
Little change of pace against Lindsey Hunter as we look at Derek Fisher, who has struggled offensively, and so Jackson is looking for just a change. All of the guys that have normally played well and given him some defensive pop, not today.
Maybe now 4 for 6 from the line. He has 15 points. A reminder, tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern, the WNBA returns to NBC. Teresa Weatherspoon and the New York Liberty going up against Lisa Leslie and the defending champion, LA Sparks. That's the return of the WNBA right here on NBC tomorrow, 3 Eastern. Final seconds of the third. George for 3. It's the Kings 75, the Lakers 52, and once again, the Lakers hearing the sentiments from the home crowd. It has been very ugly from the Laker point of view. In Sacramento, you can hear the cheering from here. We'll be back after these words from your local station.
We come from all over the world because we have doubts, fears. There are times when we need to confront them. And then there are times when we realize, one more! We've got better things to do.
Tracking showers on InstaWeather Doppler tonight after NBA basketball.
As for the National Basketball Association is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. And any retransmission, reproduction, rebroadcast, or other dissemination or use of this telecast, or of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Back at Staples in Los Angeles, the Sacramento Kings outscored the Los Angeles Lakers in the third quarter, 23-12. 12-point third quarter, the low for a quarter in this year's playoffs for the Lakers.
And what the Lakers are showing you is that if you can't make shots, you can't even play in the game, and they put up some miserable efforts in their third quarter of play. So you combine the first quarter with the third quarter, they are 11 for 47 in 24 minutes of play. You can't win.
Don't discount Sacramento's outstanding defense, particularly Bibby, Vlade, and Doug Christie. If you're the Sacramento Kings, make a personal commitment. If we get 25 points in this fourth quarter here, which is not much for them, then you're going to win this game because the Lakers will not score 48 points in the fourth by themselves, Brian Shaw or not.
No Shaq.
Lakers 5 for 25 shooting. And the third is Shaquille O'Neal sitting down. Samaki Walker is back as this fourth quarter gets underway. Bobby Jackson has returned for Sacramento. Here's Bibby. Jackson with a rainbow comes up short. Good hustle by Webber, but not able to hit. And back comes Shaw.
This group out here for the Lakers is going to have to rely on Kobe Bryant to really get hot in order to carry him, because they don't have a lot of great offensive players out there.
Foul on Christie looking for the strip. Doug Christie has done an excellent job defensively against Kobe Bryant. Kobe 3 of 12 from the field, only 6 points.
And Marv, it's not just his head-up defense. It's his long rebounds. It's his stealing the ball on post-entry passes. Rick Adelman cannot believe this.
Well, for Turkoglu, what they've got to do is avoid the clock stopping. They don't want to get into the penalty, let the Lakers start to build some cheap opportunities, and then start to bring this crowd back in the game. They got the Lakers doubting themselves right now.
Bryant trying to put a move on Christie and does. Back tap by Walker. Lindsey Hunter, Brian Shaw in the backcourt. Up front now Kobe Bryant with Kevin George and Samaki Walker. Here's Shaw for 3. The foul against the Lakers. Foul is called on Devin George. The basket by Shaw counts.
The pass off by Kobe Bryant. The ball is out of the hands of the shooter on the scrum for the offensive rebound. Turkoglu gets thrown to the ground. Devin George trying to make something happen physically. Gets called for the foul.
Bibby wide open for 3. Yes. 19 points for Bibby. 6 of 10 from the field, and the Kings lead 78-55.
And that's always a problem when you're trying to come back. Everything has to start going your way. The opponent has to miss wide open shots like that. You can't have mistakes like this.
Walker able to recover, and he is fouled by Christie.
Penetration by Bobby Jackson. The Lakers have not been able to have any sort of defensive success at all with him, and he finds Mike Bibby, who had so much time. He maybe had too much time, but was still able to knock it down. This guy, Mike Bibby, is really, really good.
Well, he has picked his game up even more, had a solid regular season. Averaged just under 14 during the regular season. He's 19 points per game in the playoffs. Samaki Walker, 66% free throw shooter.
Not even close. Guard your face on the rebound.
Christie pressed by Bryant. And the foul on Kobe Bryant. That's his 3rd.
If you're going to ever have success in trying to beat the Lakers, you got to have terrific center play, and they've had that tonight from Divac. You got to have terrific guard play at the point, particularly. Kobe's had a tough night here. Christie has not backed off against Kobe's aggressiveness. Run the give and go. They'll have to grab you. The whistles will come.
Well, every possession, what you want to do is move the ball, move people. You don't want to end up in this kind of situation. Trying to play one-on-one, then you have to fight the clock.
Jackson getting it off. Late whistle, foul on Bryant. That's 4 on Kobe.
2 mental breakdowns by Kobe Bryant on the same possession. The Kings were up against it. The shot clock winding down with the careless pass. And Kobe, who fouled Christie to set up this possession, then comes right there and knocks him down.
Challenging the shot. And, you know, when you're down at that point, what you want to do is see that kind of shot come up without them getting 3 opportunities to score again.
Bobby Jackson to the line. He's been providing energy and offense. Game 1, 21 points, 25 minutes. Game 2, 17 points in 23 minutes. But the
job Rick Adelman has done, though, in terms of breathing confidence back into his Sacramento Kings. They were outplayed so badly in the first half of Game 1. It looked like the Lakers were just going to destroy them. Rick Adelman stuck with his guys, put Bobby Jackson in there, gave everybody some life, defended Chris Webber under the intense barrage of criticism there, and now the team is playing fabulous basketball once again.
So Jackson hits on all three free throws. This is the biggest lead of the night for the Kings. They're up by 25 points. Foul committed by Turkoglu. That is his fourth.
Marv, from Game 1 to Game 3, I'm sensing a shift in Bill's dominance by the Lakers, that nobody can beat them.
Hey, the Kings are looking terrific, Steve.
That's an excellent observation.
And they have put Shaq on the bench. Is Phil Jackson even going to come back with them here? I don't know what he did wrong.
And the foul is charged to Shaw. That is his third. 14 foul on the Lakers. Kings also have 4.
The last time I saw the Lakers get punished like this was against Portland in Game 2 in that Western Conference Final. They went on to win it as they lost the second game dominant, and Jackson set in the same way. And the score 106-77. And I mean, Portland just hammered them in that ball game. Adelman wants a timeout.
Offensive foul called on Turkoglu. That's his 5th. The Kings with an 81-56 lead. 9:44 remaining fourth quarter. The NBA on NBC is brought to you by the Honda Accord. It's advanced, it's roomy, it's the Accord. By Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light, cold down easy. By Capital One, who asks, what's in your wallet? And by Warner Brothers' new motion picture, Scooby-Doo, in theaters everywhere, Friday, June 14th. It has been a very long night for Phil Jackson and his Lakers. Unless there is a miraculous turn Sunday night in Game 4, the Lakers will be in a situation they have rarely faced. That is, the season will be on the line. This is a Laker team that has won 10 consecutive playoff series, 24 of their last 24-7 playoff games, 15 of the last 16 here at home, and they've won all 5 postseason games against the Kings at Staples. And you look back, and Phil Jackson's teams over the years have won 22 straight playoff series, as you saw in those 22 straight. His teams have trailed only twice in the 98 finals and the 2001 final series. His teams have been ahead 2-1 or 3-0 in all 22 of those victorious playoff series.
One of the great runs in all of sports history, in serious jeopardy at this point, and finally Shaq gets up off the bench. But the way that the Kings are moving without the ball, the way that they're back cutting, executing give and goes, the Lakers are reaching and grabbing, and the Kings' passing ability has made it so that the fouls have to be called.
5 team fouls, and that means they're going to be shooting from the rest of the time, and a little punishment for the cutting Doug Christie.
He heard the whistle and just stopped on the play, knowing it was a dead ball situation.
Kobe Bryant picked up his 5th foul. So Doug Christie with his 12th point. Here comes Vlade Divac for Hedo Turkoglu, who has been a major factor tonight. He came out hitting his shot. Turkoglu with 14 points in all. And the Kings now lead 83-56. Is it a question here tonight as Bryant gets the step and is able to come up with a rare bucket? It's only his 4th to 16 now. The Lakers putting on the pressure. Have the Lakers been so awful, or what has Sacramento done, aside from the fact that they've played just terrific basketball? What have they done to put themselves in this position?
They've come with an offensive attack that can match the Lakers. And the Lakers, who are an outstanding defensive team, They normally just wear their opponents down and count on the other team shriveling up and wilting down the stretch because of the Lakers' poise and confidence from the championships and Phil Jackson and the abilities of Shaq and Kobe. Right now, though, Vlade has taken the game away from Shaq. Whether he can continue to do that through the course of a 7-game series remains to be seen.
Well, the difference comes down to when the Lakers are good offensively, they're also very good defensively. And their defense has been adequate, but their offense has been awful. And so the Kings have done the job. Defensively, offensively, they've come out and they have made the shots, and they've had the Lakers on their heels. And this will be a big, big win for them.
Lindsey Hunter with a line drive at home. That's his third field goal. He has 6. Lakers continue to go with pressure. Kings have no problem. Bobby Jackson is fouled. And that is number 5 on Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq has 5, Kobe has 5, but they're reaching and reacting. And so this is going to answer Rick Adelman's question. The last time the Lakers lost 2 in a row, they lost 2 in a row to Portland in 2000. Same 2 in a row to the Sacramento Kings. But the Lakers are a resilient squad, and Game 4 will be different.
As Bobby Jackson goes to the line, check in with Jim Grigg. Jim?
Marv, it was most interesting yesterday when we spoke to Phil Jackson. He thought that tonight Sacramento had to play a desperate game. And he felt they would be desperate tonight because he said they feel if they can get a game here, particularly Game 3, they'll head back to Sacramento feeling great because there's no way they'll feel that they'll lose 2 games on their home court again. So Phil Jackson saw something coming, and if he's right, that spells a lot of doom and trouble for the Lakers. Marv?
Well, Sacramento 36-5 at Arco Arena. That's the best home record in the NBA, and they're pretty good on the road with 16 of the last 18 of the W column. Most road wins in franchise history during the regular season with 25. Timeout has been called by the Kings. 8:19 remaining in the fourth. And a technical foul has been called. Rick Adelman upset.
He's ahead by 26 points, and he's getting a technical foul.
All right, we're headed to commercial. We'll be right back. Rick Adelman hit with a technical foul, had a heated discussion with the officials. That's the 3rd technical called on the Kings. Don Baden indicating the technical, and Kobe Bryant will go to the line to shoot the tee.
If you're the Lakers, cut this lead in half in 4 minutes. Then you're only down a handful with 4 minutes to go.
Right. You have said many strange things. On a night when they cannot make a shot, how are they going to do it?
What are they going to do? Just quit?
Lakers at 33% from the field, while Sacramento has been right around 50% from the start. Jackson.
5 on the clock.
Now Bibby shoots the 3. And Webber able to grab the rebound. He is fouled.
Shaq is gone.
Chris Webber to the foul line. And apparently it's on Devin George.
Webber is playing the kind of game that you want from him. He's dominant on the offensive glass as that last possession. Shaq is always having to guard Vlade and the ball. Shaq's not able to just roam on the weak side.
Tomorrow here on NBC, it'll be the Nets and the Celtics in Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. That series tied at 1, covered starting at 5 o'clock Eastern Time following the WNBA. Webber now with 20 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Knocks it down from 3-point territory. 87-64, Sacramento. Nice play by Shaw on the trap. Hunter behind the back. Shaw. So the Lakers come up with the steal on the press.
They're counting them down. You got to get the ball inbounds. And they turn it over again.
The pass off the mark with Webber bothered by Hunter, who was all over Bibby.
Well, this is the one thing that the Kings don't want to show, that they can be around. They got this game under control. All they got to do is make good decisions and walk out here with an easy win. They don't want to let the Lakers make any run to give them some confidence.
more points Sacramento does.
Here is Bryant for three. That's a major problem for the Lakers. Kobe playing with 5. Shaq playing with 5. Another steal. Horry for 3.
To close out the champion, you don't want to become tentative. You don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to allow them a chance to find a formula to get back in the game. And right now, Bill, you're looking like a genius.
Sacramento's running away from the ball. The ball movement for Los Angeles has picked up remarkably. Kobe Bryant draining threes. The turnovers for Sacramento have just killed them. You give up an 11-0 run in a minute's time. Devin George making a steal. You got to come to the ball there if you're Sacramento.
What they're going to do is use Vlade as a release so they can throw him the ball. The Kings got to remember, as Adelman called a timeout, hey, guys, we got them in the penalty. All we got to do is get the ball in and attack the other way. They turn it over again.
So the Lakers once again able to rattle the Kings with the pressure defense. 11 unanswered points. They've come from 27 down. They are now trailing by 15. Bryant for 3. 87-75. The lead is down to 12 with just under 7 remaining. Lots of time. Jackson is trapped. Bryant playing with the 5 foul. Jackson gets it up to Divac, and they just get it across the midcourt line. Webber. That's a clutch shot by Webber.
That is what MVPs do. That is why they pay Chris Webber what they do.
Here's Bryant from long range. Not able to hit the 3. Bibby nearly lost it and recovered the dribble.
The Kings got to remember, they're in control of their own destiny. Just remain aggressive at the offensive end.
Oh, what a move by Bibby. Able to penetrate. Phil Jackson upset, and he takes a timeout.
Mike Bibby and Chris Webber, when everything seemed to be falling apart. Webber looks at Shaq and says, yeah, big man, what are you going to do about this? This is called face on the road with everything going against you. Then Bibby comes right back. 3 defenders, Shaq there as well, and this weaves his way right through.
Many have questioned Chris Webber and his ability to make big shots at big moments, and none could have been bigger than this one. The Lakers on a 14-0 run, and he drops the hammer on them from deep. And then his reaction is, everybody be quiet.
And the versatility of Chris Webber. He shot Shaq with 5 fouls. Shaq not going to come out on him there. Gives him a little shake, freezes him back on his heels, and delivers. And now Sacramento has apparently restored a bit of order.
But still much time remaining. 6 minutes to go in the 4th. O'Neal playing with 5, as is Bryant. Hunter continues to hit from outside. Another 3 for Lindsey Hunter. He has 12 points in all. The basket counts.
And that's the way that you answer those 3-point bombs. You got to continue to score if you're Sacramento. Hunter suddenly now back in the picture. Expect a lot of playing time from him in game 4.
Bryant. Wow. And Kobe Bryant beginning to catch fire. It's down to a 12-point Sacramento lead. They've led by as many as 27. The Lakers keep coming after they played brutal basketball for 3 quarters. Here is Christie, way off on his 3-point attempt. Hunter stopped by Jackson, and a bad shot. Although he thought he was fouled. Jackson met by Shaw.
Keep attacking if you're Sacramento. A long way to go here still.
Well, the Lakers who couldn't make a three-point shot, that's all they can do is make three-point bombs right now.
Here is Jackson. O'Neal on the rebound. Just under 5 remaining in the fourth. It's a 12-point game. Bryant changed his mind. Here's Bryant giving it up. George unable to hit. O'Neal has to be careful. He nearly picked up number 6 going for that rebound. Webber. So Chris Webber on the break. He now has 24. And the Lakers take a timeout.
Jackson is amazing. He's telling his guys, calm down, guys. We got a ton of time. They're starting to feel the heat, and they're only ahead by 14, but they've got to continue to do this. Steal of points. Get out and take advantage of the Laker defense, which is all pressing in the backcourt.
The Lakers are the one playing desperate ball right now, and the Kings' fast break attack is making them pay for that strategy.
In Los Angeles, Marv Albert, Bill Walton, Steve Snapper Jones, Sacramento with a 14-point lead. See timeouts remaining. Sacramento down to 1. Lakers have a full and a 20. The Lakers have done it from downtown after the horrible start. 2 of 14 from three-point range. However, they've hit 7 threes here in the fourth quarter. 7 for 11 in the fourth quarter.
Couldn't buy a bucket earlier in the second quarter. They were hot, and now they're doing the same thing here in the fourth.
Kobe Bryant for 3. And Doug Christie on the loose ball. Bryant is back.
Come to the ball if you're Sacramento. They're double teaming everything. They're just racing around trying to create chaos.
If you're Sacramento, use some time and then go to the hoop.
Christie for 3. Yes. Doug Christie with 16 points. He extends to a 17-point Sacramento lead. Nice fake. Kobe Bryant, who is going through a very difficult time, has come on here in the fourth quarter. 14 of his 21 in the fourth.
What does this tell us about Kobe Bryant? He never gives up on a game. He never gives up on himself. And now you see him giving that fist and saying, you know, we can do it. And is that a pirouette of disgust?
Well, Doug Christie, who has played a remarkable ball game in all aspects. 4-point play.
Well, Kobe Bryant hits the 3, draws the foul. On the 4-point play, the Lakers move within 13 with 3:35 remaining in the fourth.
And the Kings got to remember, Kobe's got 5 fouls. Get him out of the game. He's wearing you out.
Jackson, O'Neal on the rebound.
Lakers have made a defensive switch. They're guarding Shaq on Chris Webber.
Bryant. Shaq with another opportunity. He is fouled. So O'Neal to the line. Foul on Divac. That is his 4th. Shaq just 1 of 2 from the foul line.
Shaq has not been part of this big run, and it finally looked like he was going to get into it, and they're going to send him to the line, but 3:15 to go, and the story is Kobe Bryant, and what a scoring exhibition and three-point shooting exhibition he's put on here in the fourth.
Kings have to battle through the fatigue. What they're doing is they're sending Vlade up to handle the ball. That's why they put Devin George, the Lakers, on Vlade. Ouch.
Well, O'Neal has been shooting 63% from the line in the postseason. Now Robert Horry comes on for Brian Shaw. Lakers receiving a lift from Shaw and Hunter. Brian Shaw with 10 points. He had 2 from downtown. Lindsey Hunter with 12 points, including 2 3-pointers.
Here's the score. Kobe Bryant 16 in the quarter and the Kings 22.
George on the rebound. Not able to hit. George thought he drew the foul. And it's last touch by the Lakers. So the Lakers go back to the pressure. And a troubling violation call.
You're only allowed to run the baseline after a made basket or free throw. Otherwise, it's the same as playing in a live action on the court with the ball. Vlade has that ball. He's moving. Bennett Salvatore right on top of it. Easy play to call.
Now Brian Shaw checks back in for Robert Horry. 3:11 remaining. In the fourth quarter, the Kings up by 13. Lindsey Hunter again. A steal. George had it knocked away, and Christie is on it. Beautiful ball handling by Christie to get it to the front court. Now Bibby being played by George, and Sacramento looking to use the clock. 2:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. Here's Bibby off the ball fake, taking all the way. It counts, and the foul.
Shaq having to guard Chris Webber because of Webber's ability to knock down shots, get to the hoop. The court is spread. You got Shaq playing defense on the strong side. Down the lane. Watch the ball fake at the very last minute. Bibby's looking to pass. Everybody's playing passing lanes. Layup. 100 points. Arguably ball game.
Devin George on the foul, his fourth. Mike Bibby looking for his 24th point.
He's had a tough night at the line. A guy that shoots 80+%.
Yes, Bibby 5 of 8 at the line. Here's Shaw. O'Neal could not gather it in. Webber able to deflect it to Jackson. So 2:25 remaining in the fourth quarter. And the Kings just desperately trying to hold on after leading by as many as 27. A gallant comeback by the Lakers. At one point, they reeled off 14 straight points here in the fourth. Christie not able to hit. And Hunter on the rebound. Once again, the Lakers will look for a quick shot, probably from downtown, where they have suddenly been hitting. Bryant not able to connect. Bobby Jackson leaping for that rebound. And Kobe Bryant looks to draw the foul, but cannot. He is fouled out.
Guard play. Mike Bibby was the difference in the explosive first half. Now long rebounds. Bibby, Jackson getting that done, controlling the few possessions that they need to hold on and get this remarkable victory here. Now Kobe has to sit it out and watch the rest of the way.
What a finish for Kobe Bryant. Ended up hitting 4 of 9 from downtown and 16 of his 23 coming in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he was trying to draw that foul and, again, showing that competitive attitude that he has, that he's going to put himself in harm's way regardless of what his foul situation is. And the Kings are not closing the door by making the free throws. Bryant still moving his feet as the call is made. Bibby misses his free throw. Jackson comes back, misses his free throw. And Kobe is saying, come on, man, I got to have that call.
Jackson is 5 of 7 at the line. Usually a solid free throw shooter. Missing both. George on the rebound. But the Lakers down by 13, just under 2 remaining. In the fourth, O'Neal over Divac. Christie comes up with the loose ball.
Shaq neutralized by Vlade, and the guards able to be the difference. Christie, Bibby, and Jackson. Rebounding, scoring, defense, leadership.
The one thing that helped the Lakers was the Kings started shooting three-pointers. All they had to do was keep making twos.
Here's Shaw. Nice combination. Shaw on the alley-oop to O'Neal. It's 100-89, but time running out on the Lakers. A minute and 10 remaining in the fourth.
Vlade's got to come to the ball. The play is broken.
It's over now.
Turnaround is fair play. They throw one up to Shaq. Let's throw one up to Webber.
26 points for Chris Webber. Lindsey Hunter.
They had to have that perfect quarter. And Divac picks up the foul in order to come all the way back. And not enough things went right, but this is a terrific play by Bibby to Webber just to reestablish their confidence. I mean, they got very tentative here in the fourth quarter of play. Under the pressure of the Lakers, they started to stand and stall, made mistakes, and got this crowd believing.
To beat a great team like Los Angeles, two-time defending champions, everybody has to play well. And that has been the case for Rick Adelman's Kings tonight.
You know, Mark, we thought they'd be filing out early. They stayed right till a 1 minute mark.
They have just begun to file out. The Lakers putting on that run in the fourth quarter at one stretch, 14 unanswered. But Sacramento set the tone right at the start. It was a combination of Bibby and Turkoglu and Divac. Christie did the job defensively. Lakers with 39 points in the fourth quarter, but will fall short. They will look to turn things around. Game 4 Sunday night here at Staples, and then Game 5 in Sacramento on Tuesday, where the Kings have won during the regular season 36 out of 41, the best home record in the NBA. Shaquille O'Neal will depart. Slava Medvedenko comes on, as does Mark Matson.
I think they're happy up in Sacramento right now. I was there game 2 when they won. I can't remember a happier bunch of people racing out of Arco that night. The celebration has begun already in Sacramento.
A terrific performance by the Kings. Matson lost it. We're down to 25 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter, and the Sacramento Kings will take a 2-1 lead on the Los Angeles Lakers.
Well, they have about a 5-second shot clock differential, so one more shot's going to come up.
Bibby. Final seconds. Here's George. The Sacramento Kings able to withstand the desperate rally of the Los Angeles Lakers in the fourth quarter. It was a late wake-up call for the Lakers, and the Kings, who once led by as many as 27, win it 103-90. Let's get to Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, Marv, 26 points for Chris Webber. He hit that big shot after the long run by the Lakers there. Chris, you guys barely just held on. What was that feeling like when it got down to 11 points there in the fourth quarter?
Well, we won about 13, so we didn't just barely win it. But, you know, in the NBA, every coach always says it's going to be a spurt. And we got a little bit away from recognizing the mismatches and things like that. And I made a turnover. A lot of guys made turnovers, but glad we were able to stick together and get the win.
What were you hollering when you made that shot after the 14-0 run with 6.5 minutes left?
You want me to show you what? Whoa! That's what I was doing. That's all.
That's all it was?
That's all it was.
How did you manage to dominate this Laker team here in this building for the better part of 3 quarters?
Well, I've just been saying all along, one person is not going to beat them. You got some great players that have played against them, Tim, KG, everybody. So you have to have a good team. And, I'm just fortunate to have some guys that can shoot. And so what I wanted to do was keep their big fellas away from the basket and give guys picks and let them shoot. And guys really put down the shots, and we stayed active, keep it cutting, and that's what it's all about.
Chris, congratulations. Great game tonight.
Thanks a lot. I'll take a little word from my boy, Juwan Howard. I ain't going to say that one yet.
All right, Chris, thank you. Marv?
Well, an outstanding all-around performance for Chris Webber. 26 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Mike Bibby, 23 points, 5 assists. Doug Christie, 17 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. Late start for Kobe Bryant, 16 of his 22 in the fourth. Shaq finished with 20 and 19. NBC will continue its Memorial Day weekend playoff coverage tomorrow. The Nets and the Celtics, Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Coming up tonight after your late local news, The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, as Jay welcomes Ned Campbell and musical guests Willie Nelson and Leanne Womack. So for Bill Walton, Steve Snapper Jones, and Jim Gray, I'm Marv Albert. The Sacramento Kings defeating the LA Lakers here at Staples to take a 2-1 lead in the best of 7. You've been watching the NBA on NBC.